Well, hello everyone, all you 4AG carbed enthusiasts. This is my build, a 2 Weber side drafts, 45 millimeters, 4AG on a 85 SR5 shell. The SR5 is the easiest shell to put carbs in, due to the fact that what it was before was carbs. So swapping a GTS to carbs is kind of a waste when you can just grab a SR5 for half the price and do it. The engine's out of an ae86 that I grabbed for $100 from a junkyard, and the manifold I got off of eBay. Just a cheapie, it does the trick, nothing too magical. And the 2 carburetors I got from a guy local here for about $300. They needed a rebuild kit, but other than that, they weren't too expensive. Anyways, for all of you who are looking to get into a Weber or any kind of side draft carburetor build, there's a few things you'll need. If you grab an SR5, which is what I did, you'll see the fuel line back there. Let me see if I can point it out. The fuel line comes in right here, and I have it running down through here into a cheap AutoZone fuel pump that I got for about $4, and then up here to a cheap AutoZone fuel regulator that I also got for about $4. And I set it between 3.5 and 4 psi. That's what Weber's like. They like lots of fuel at a low pressure. And I have it here running in. Now, if you don't know much about Webers, they are pretty cool and kind of a pain at the same time. Here's your main jets. These are your main jets up here, and these are your idle jets down here. These screws cover your accelerator pump jets. That's sort of what happens is when the throttle is pushed down and opened, these things squirt a little extra fuel into the engine to get it to rev a little quicker. Now, don't quote me, but these are your idle jets right here, and what happens is you adjust these to adjust your idle, and there's 4 of them, 1 for each cylinder. So you got to know a little bit about your car before you start tinkering with these things. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Yeah, there's some great write-ups on Club of 4AG about how to get the correct jetting for this. I stole a jet build from a 40 millimeter build, and so far it's been working for me. If I can get this carburetor to start working, it's giving me some issues. That's sort of the risk you take with secondhand stuff. Now, ignition-wise, you'll see I have a 6AL MSD timing computer there, and a Spark timing control box, which essentially, because the distributor in this thing is locked out, there's no advance, I need to get an advanced computer. This thing tells my this thing, I forget the name of it. Anyways, it tells it when to generate a spark, and what this guy does is he retards the signal somewhat, so that way when I can idle and my engine isn't going to be running hot, I can idle with this thing and run full bore, because I have locked out timing. If you're confused about that, shoot me an email and I can explain it in more detail. Anyhow, I remember someone asked on the forum what a brake assist is, and you see this line coming out of your brake drum is a brake assist. It comes over here and it needs to be hooked to your manifold, so you need to get a manifold that can take this. And if your manifold doesn't, I think the TRD might not have it, though don't quote me on that because I've never actually owned one. You can put it in your injector port down there. Let's see if I can get a good angle. I can't. My injector ports are plugged with bolts threaded in, but you can get a little plug and you put your your brake advance or your brake assist in there. But my manifold came with a brake assist, so I'm pretty lucky there. Back to the Webers. Like I said, a fuel pump, a fuel regulator, of course, a timing computer and your carburetors. Other than that, it's a really simple build. Great thing to do with an SR5 shell, as they are easier to come by than GTS shells. Relatively cheap, considering, you know, what the other options are, you know, making a wiring harness and all the little sensors and things that can cause you all sorts of problems. Yeah, right now actually I'm having a problem. For any of you who are more advanced than me, this carburetor is burning great, but unfortunately they're both identically tuned. Unfortunately, this carburetor doesn't seem to want to idle correctly. Yeah, I know the jet cap's off, but it's not delivering fuel. This body is, and this body is running a bit lean for some reason. Now I have everything identically set up, but this one just runs colder on the exhaust side than the rest of the motor. I've cleaned the carbs, rebuilt them, cleaned every line, made sure everything was there, and it's just not drawing. Now I'm wondering if maybe my floats are set too low and choking before the fuel is at a correct level. I'm not sure. I'm just asking if anyone else out there knows. But yeah, that's my little problem, that the reason I have the car out right now. If you guys need any help or any questions about what I've got done so far, my email is nateshew@hotmail.com. That's NATESHEW@hotmail.com, and I can give you some advice on what I've got so far. And if you've got any answers to my particular question, shoot me an email. That'd be greatly appreciated. One last thing you'll notice is because I got the side transverse mounted engine that was meant for the front wheel drive, you'll notice my water shutoff valve, I can't even think of the name of this thing, is down here. I was too cheap to buy myself a normal front wheel drive one, so I zip tied the old sucker down in there, and I have everything running like that back to my water pump. I don't know if you can see it down there. Yeah, that's it back there. Yeah, I'm kind of cheap, I know. This is my first car that I built like this, you know, so don't spend too much money. Yeah, so if you guys have any questions, shoot me a question. I'll be glad to tell you what I know. And if you have any answers, I'd be happy to ask. Thanks for looking, and have a nice day.